Dev and I have shared a journey that spans over a decade and a half. We first crossed paths when I was just 21, and he was 23, both young and full of dreams. After nearly 2 years of courtship, Dev popped the question, and we embarked on our journey of marriage, eventually welcoming two beautiful children into our lives. Early on in our relationship, I had the pleasure of meeting Dev's mother, Mallerie. From the outset, I endeavored to make a good impression, hoping to win her approval. However, it became apparent that Mallerie harbored reservations about me. Her close bond with Dev, forged through years of navigating life's ups and downs as a duo, made her protective and perhaps somewhat skeptical of anyone new entering their tight-knit circle. One significant barrier to Mallerie fully embracing me into the fold was our differing socioeconomic backgrounds. Coming from a family with multiple successful businesses, I had enjoyed a privileged upbringing. While my parents provided me with financial support, they also instilled in me the values of hard work and self-sufficiency. Unlike my affluent upbringing, Dev's life had been marked by adversity. His father's absence due to military service, followed by his untimely passing, thrust Dev into the role of caregiver for his mother, who battled alcoholism. Despite the challenges, Dev demonstrated remarkable resilience, working odd jobs and eventually finding success as a freelance writer. When our relationship deepened, I made the decision to disclose my family's wealth to Dev. Initially skeptical, he conducted his own investigation, only to be astonished by the truth. The revelation stirred a mix of emotions in him, including disbelief and, understandably, anger. The stark contrast between our upbringings highlighted the disparities between us, leading to a rift in our relationship. Dev's reaction served as a reminder of the complexities inherent in relationships, particularly those influenced by socioeconomic factors. As we navigate this new chapter in our lives, I remain hopeful that understanding and empathy will guide us towards reconciliation, bridging the gap between our pasts and paving the way for a more harmonious future. As Dev and I delved deeper into our relationship, the discovery of my family's wealth became a pivotal moment, one that revealed underlying tensions and disparities in our perspectives. His reaction to this revelation set the stage for a series of challenges that tested the foundation of our love and commitment. Initially, Dev felt betrayed by my decision to withhold information about my family's financial status. He questioned the authenticity of our relationship, prompting me to explain the caution I exercised due to past experiences where my wealth overshadowed genuine connections. While he eventually grasped my reasoning, his occasional jabs at my work ethic and understanding of hardship pierced deeply, highlighting a fundamental disconnect between us. When the time came for us to move in together, Dev proposed residing in my larger apartment. While I agreed, discussions about splitting expenses quickly escalated into a confrontation. Dev, citing his meager earnings as a freelance writer, insisted that I cover his share of bills and rent as a gesture of love. Despite my reservations, I relented under the weight of his emotional manipulation, sacrificing my financial stability to appease him. Meanwhile, Dev continued to financially support his mother, a habit he maintained throughout our relationship. His devotion to her needs, manifested through monthly allowances and lavish gifts, often clashed with our own financial struggles. Attempts to address this imbalance were met with defensiveness, as Dev justified his actions by emphasizing his mother's status as a single parent in need. Over time, my concerns were silenced by guilt, leading me to avoid confrontation and accept the status quo. Despite these challenges, Dev's proposal of marriage initially filled me with joy and anticipation. However, with hindsight, I now recognize the warning signs that should have given me pause. As we navigate the complexities of our divorce proceedings, I am confronted with the sobering reality of our irreconcilable differences and the harsh truths that underpinned our relationship. While our love may have once seemed unbreakable, it was ultimately unable to withstand the weight of our conflicting values and priorities. He didn't put much effort into proposing. I expected him to make a grand gesture, perhaps something extravagant, but he surprised me by suggesting a simple backyard proposal. While I appreciated the sentiment, I couldn't shake off a tinge of disappointment. However, to his credit, he did approach my parents in the traditional manner to seek their blessing, demonstrating his respect for our family's traditions. My mother, ever supportive of our relationship, suggested involving my best friend Kylie in the proposal planning. Kylie, a cherished friend since high school, has always been an integral part of my life, akin to family. Our families have a deep connection, rooted in lifelong friendship between our mothers. When Dev and I began dating, I introduced him to Kylie, and they quickly formed a bond. Little did I know that their camaraderie would lead to the proposal planning. Kylie and Dev collaborated on the proposal idea, eventually settling on the backyard setting, surrounded by our loved ones. Despite my initial surprise, the presence of our family and friends transformed the occasion into a heartwarming celebration. My mother, Kylie, and Kylie's mother were among the first to embrace me, their joy palpable. Dev's mother, Mallerie, also expressed her happiness for us, albeit with high expectations for my role as her future daughter-in-law. Following our engagement, we embarked on the journey of marriage. However, the dynamics of our relationship took an unexpected turn. Despite my hopes for an equal partnership, I found myself shouldering the financial responsibilities alone. Dev, citing his freelance writer income as insufficient, expected me to cover our expenses, including rent and leisure activities. Despite my reservations, I acquiesced, sacrificing my financial independence for the sake of our relationship. Even as I supported us financially, Dev continued to prioritize providing for his mother, sending her monthly allowances and lavish gifts. While I admired his devotion to his family, I couldn't shake off the disparity in our financial contributions. Whenever I broached the subject, expressing my concerns about our unequal financial arrangement, Dev dismissed them, emphasizing his mother's needs and our familial obligations. This tension reached a breaking point during my pregnancy with our first child, James. Faced with a challenging pregnancy, I had to resign from my job, exacerbating our financial strain. Dev's reaction was less than supportive. He questioned my decision and argued about our financial stability. Feeling overwhelmed, I turned to my parents for support. To my dismay, my mother sided with Dev, downplaying my concerns and emphasizing the importance of financial independence during pregnancy. However, my father's response was starkly different. He confronted Dev, urging him to assume his responsibilities as a husband and father. In a moment of frustration, my father even mentioned the possibility of divorce, a prospect that unsettled Dev. Despite the challenges and discord in our relationship, divorce was never my desired outcome. However, the strain on our marriage was undeniable, fueled by financial disparities and differing priorities. As we navigate the complexities of our relationship, I am left grappling with the realization that our once promising union may be at a crossroads, where difficult decisions lie ahead. He proposed in the most casual of settings, the backyard, a choice that left me momentarily deflated. I had hoped for a grand gesture, a romantic spectacle that matched the depth of our love. Instead, it seemed he opted for convenience over sentimentality. Yet, to his credit, he sought my parents' blessing beforehand, a gesture that earned him a modicum of respect. My mother, ever the advocate for romance, suggested he enlist the help of my best friend, Kylie, to orchestrate the proposal. Together, they concocted a plan to pop the question amidst a gathering of family and friends in our backyard. Kylie, my steadfast companion since high school, became the architect of this surprise, her bond with my family rivaling even my own. Dev and Kylie's collaboration culminated in an evening that, despite its humble setting, radiated with love and celebration. Though the proposal lacked the grandeur I had envisioned, the presence of my loved ones filled me with warmth and gratitude. My mother, Kylie, and her mother were the first to envelop me in congratulatory hugs, their excitement contagious. Even Dev's mother, Mallerie, despite her reserved nature, expressed her approval and hopes for our future together. It was a night of happiness and anticipation, a prelude to the journey that awaited us. Following our wedding, reality settled in, revealing disparities in our financial attitudes and responsibilities. Despite the existence of a prenuptial agreement, Dev's newfound financial obligations elicited resistance and resentment from his mother. While I maintained financial stability through my own means, Dev's decision to halt his mother's allowance only heightened tensions within our household. The birth of our son, James, should have been a period of unbridled joy and familial bliss. However, the reality proved far more challenging as I grappled with the demands of new motherhood. While my parents and Kylie offered unwavering support, Dev remained distant and disengaged, oblivious to the toll his indifference took on our family dynamic. As I navigated the complexities of postpartum depression, Dev's lack of involvement only exacerbated my feelings of isolation and despair. Despite my attempts to communicate my needs, Dev remained steadfast in his belief that childcare was solely my responsibility. His reluctance to contribute to parenting duties only deepened the chasm between us, leaving me feeling overwhelmed and abandoned in my struggles. It was during this tumultuous period that I found solace in opening up to my parents, a decision that marked the beginning of my journey towards self-discovery and empowerment. When I confided in my father about my struggles with postpartum depression, he responded with empathy and understanding, offering unwavering support during my darkest moments. However, my mother's reaction was starkly different. She dismissed the notion of PPD, insisting that I simply needed to be stronger for my baby. Her refusal to acknowledge my pain only added to my sense of isolation and despair. Meanwhile, Dev remained aloof and unwilling to lend a helping hand despite my pleas for assistance. Instead of stepping up as a partner and father, he retreated further into his own world, leaving me to bear the weight of parenthood alone. His indifference, coupled with my mother-in-law's incessant criticisms, compounded my feelings of inadequacy and hopelessness. Amidst this turmoil, Kylie emerged as my rock, offering unwavering support and a listening ear whenever I needed it. She validated my struggles and provided a comforting presence during my darkest moments. With her by my side, I felt less alone in my battle against depression. A year later, the unexpected news of another pregnancy sent shockwaves through our already strained relationship. Dev's reaction was less than supportive. He insisted that I terminate the pregnancy immediately, citing financial concerns. Our ensuing arguments only served to deepen the rift between us, prompting me to reassess my priorities. Recognizing the need to regain my independence, I reached out to my former boss and secured a freelance position, determined to take control of my financial future. Despite the challenges of my second pregnancy, I refused to let it overshadow my newfound determination to provide for myself and my children. As I resumed work, I made a conscious decision to prioritize my own financial security, setting aside a portion of my earnings for personal savings. Dev's complacency and discontent with his job only fueled my resolve to secure my own future, regardless of his lack of support or enthusiasm. With each passing day, Dev's disinterest in our family's well-being became more apparent, his dissatisfaction with his own career only serving to exacerbate our already strained relationship. As I forged ahead on my path to self-sufficiency, I realized that my future and that of my children depended solely on my own strength and determination. I made countless attempts to reason with Dev, reminding him of the importance of his job, especially considering his lack of a college degree. However, these conversations often ended in frustration, as Dev bristled at any mention of his past as a college dropout. He would retort, claiming that he deserved a break just like I had during my pregnancy, conveniently overlooking the fact that growing another human being inside me was hardly a vacation. Despite my protests, Dev made the impulsive decision to quit his job, citing our savings and my newfound employment as justification for his newfound leisure time. As he whiled away the hours immersed in video games, I found myself shouldering the burden of household chores, childcare, and work responsibilities alone. Even when I arranged for James to stay with my parents during my work hours, Dev remained ensconced in his gaming world, oblivious to the mounting strain on our relationship. Frustrated and exhausted, I confronted Dev about his lack of contribution to our family. His response was to retreat further into his virtual realm, spending even more time at his friend Clinton's house, where the toxic atmosphere only served to exacerbate our issues. Clinton, a divorced man nursing a bitter grudge against women, was hardly the ideal influence for Dev, yet their bond grew stronger as Dev withdrew further from our family life. The birth of our second child, Nina, should have been a joyous occasion, but Dev's absence during my labor underscored the growing chasm between us. Despite my attempts to reach out for support, both Dev and Kylie were conspicuously absent, leaving me to rely on my parents for assistance. Kylie's belated apology did little to assuage my disappointment, as I grappled with the realization that I was essentially navigating motherhood alone. Fed up with Dev's indifference and neglect, I issued him an ultimatum. Either he returned to work and stepped up as a responsible partner and father, or I would have no choice but to leave. The ensuing argument was explosive, but I remained resolute in my decision to prioritize the well-being of my children over our failing relationship. As their mother, I knew that I owed it to them and to myself to seek out a more supportive and equitable partnership. As I stood there, grappling with the shattering revelation that unfolded before my eyes, I felt the ground beneath me give way, plunging me into an abyss of disbelief and despair. The message illuminated on my husband's phone screen, like a dagger to the heart, stripped away the fragile veneer of trust I had clung to so desperately. A surge of raw emotion coursed through me, demanding release. Without hesitation, I raised my hand and delivered a resounding slap across Dev's stunned face. His eyes widened in shock, mirroring the tumultuous whirlwind of thoughts and emotions raging within me. In the deafening silence that followed, I could feel the weight of betrayal pressing down on me, suffocating me with its crushing reality. Numbly, I began to gather my belongings, the tremors of disbelief still coursing through my veins. With each movement, the enormity of the situation bore down on me, threatening to engulf me in its unforgiving embrace. In a daze, I ushered my children into the sanctuary of our car, their innocent faces a stark contrast to the chaos unraveling around us. The drive to my parents' home was a blur, the familiar streets now tinged with an unfamiliar sense of foreboding. As we arrived at the refuge of my childhood sanctuary, I felt a wave of relief wash over me, seeking solace in the comforting embrace of familiarity. Entering the threshold of my parents' home, I was met with a flood of emotions, the weight of betrayal crashing over me like a relentless tide. In their loving embrace, I found a fleeting respite from the storm raging within. Tears streamed down my cheeks as I recounted the harrowing truth, the pain of betrayal etched into every syllable. In the days that followed, I grappled with the overwhelming turmoil consuming me, seeking solace in the unwavering support of my loved ones. Amidst the chaos, I found solace in the embrace of my children, their presence a source of strength amidst the tumultuous storm. As I navigated the treacherous terrain of betrayal, the incessant pleas and messages from Dev and Kylie served as painful reminders of the life I once knew. Despite their desperate entreaties, I remained steadfast in my resolve, refusing to entertain the notion of reconciliation with those who had callously shattered my trust. In the midst of heartache and despair, I found solace in the outpouring of support from friends and strangers alike. Their words of encouragement served as a beacon of hope in my darkest hour, reminding me that I was not alone in this journey. In the weeks that followed, I began to reclaim a sense of agency in my life, taking the necessary steps to protect myself and my children from further harm. With the guidance of trusted advisors and legal counsel, I embarked on the arduous journey of rebuilding my shattered world. Though the road ahead may be fraught with challenges, I am determined to emerge from this ordeal stronger and more resilient than ever before. With each passing day, I draw strength from the unwavering support of those who stand by my side, guiding me through the darkest of nights towards the promise of a brighter tomorrow. Amidst the tumultuous upheaval of my shattered world, I found solace in the familiar rhythm of work, a welcome distraction from the chaos unraveling in my personal life. Yet, even as I sought refuge in the mundane routine of daily tasks, the lingering specter of betrayal loomed large, casting a shadow over every moment of respite. For far too long, whispers of suspicion had trailed behind Dev and Kylie, casting doubt upon the facade of trust that once shielded our fragile union. In a jarring revelation, Kylie confessed to succumbing to the allure of forbidden love, her words dripping with thinly veiled remorse and self-justification. The gravity of her betrayal struck me like a thunderbolt, shattering the last vestiges of trust I had clung to so desperately. Dev's pleas for forgiveness rang hollow in the wake of his unfathomable betrayal, his words tainted by the stench of deceit and selfishness. His desperate attempts to salvage our fractured relationship reeked of entitlement and delusion, a stark reminder of the depths to which he had fallen. As the sordid details of their illicit affair came to light, I found myself grappling with a maelstrom of emotions, ranging from seething anger to crushing heartache. Dev's clandestine confessions to Kylie, uttered behind my back, painted a damning portrait of his cowardice and duplicity, while her complicity in his betrayal served as a bitter reminder of the depths of human depravity. In the wake of their betrayal, I found solace in the unwavering support of my loved ones, who stood by my side as I navigated the treacherous waters of heartbreak and betrayal. Though my mother's initial refusal to believe the truth stung like a dagger to the heart, My father's unwavering support served as a beacon of strength in my darkest hour. As I grappled with the devastating aftermath of their betrayal, I found myself consumed by a potent mix of anger, betrayal, and grief. Yet, amidst the wreckage of my shattered dreams, a flicker of newfound resolve began to emerge, fueling my determination to reclaim my life and rebuild from the ashes of betrayal. Though the road ahead may be fraught with uncertainty and pain, I am resolved to emerge from this ordeal stronger and more resilient than ever before. With each passing day, I draw strength from the unwavering support of those who stand by my side, guiding me through the darkest of nights towards the promise of a brighter tomorrow. Amidst the swirling chaos of betrayal and upheaval, I found myself grappling with a plethora of emotions, each more tumultuous than the last. In the wake of Dev's egregious betrayal with Kylie, my world seemed to crumble around me, leaving me adrift in a sea of uncertainty and despair. Confiding in Kylie's mother proved to be a pivotal moment of solace amidst the storm. Unlike my own mother, whose initial reluctance to accept the truth left me feeling utterly alone, Kylie's mother offered a beacon of unwavering support and understanding. Her validation of my pain and unwavering solidarity provided a much-needed lifeline in the tumultuous depths of my anguish. With the guidance of my father, I made the difficult decision to initiate divorce proceedings, armed with the legal leverage provided by our prenuptial agreement and Dev's undeniable infidelity. Though the prospect of navigating the murky waters of custody battles loomed ominously on the horizon, I remained resolute in my determination to shield my children from the tumult of their father's transgressions. Yet, amidst the turmoil of unraveling my marriage and rebuilding my shattered life, my mother's baffling change in demeanor introduced a new layer of complexity to an already fraught situation. Her sudden insistence that I relinquish full custody to Dev left me reeling, struggling to comprehend the motives behind such a bewildering suggestion. As I grapple with the emotional maelstrom of divorce and the relentless demands of single motherhood, I draw strength from the unwavering support of those who stand by my side. Though the road ahead may be fraught with challenges, I remain steadfast in my resolve to navigate this tumultuous chapter of my life with courage and resilience. The events that transpired shook me to my core, leaving me grappling with a whirlwind of emotions that seemed to consume my very being. It all started with a revelation that shattered the illusion of the life I had meticulously built, a life intertwined with betrayal, heartbreak, and an unforeseen twist of fate. As the dust settled on the shattered remnants of my once happy existence, I found myself retracing the steps that led me to this precipice of despair. It began with a seemingly innocuous decision, one that I had naively believed would mark the beginning of a new chapter in my life, the signing of a prenuptial agreement. Little did I know that this seemingly prudent decision would serve as the catalyst for a chain of events that would unravel the very fabric of my reality. The prenup, a testament to my father's insistence on safeguarding our family's assets, unwittingly laid bare the true nature of my husband's intentions, a realization that struck me with a profound sense of betrayal. With the weight of this revelation bearing down on me, I found myself ensnared in a web of deceit, manipulation, and unrelenting heartache. Despite my initial disbelief, I was forced to confront the harsh reality of my husband's duplicity, a reality that unfolded before me with each passing day, like pages torn from a tragic novel. The facade of marital bliss crumbled beneath the weight of my husband's indifference and neglect, a stark reminder of the promises left unfulfilled and the dreams left unspoken. From the mundanity of everyday life to the joyous milestones of parenthood, I bore the burden of responsibility alone, while he retreated into the shadows of his own apathy. It was amidst this sea of loneliness and despair that I found solace in the unwavering support of my loved ones, a beacon of hope amidst the darkness that threatened to consume me. From the comforting embrace of my best friend to the sage wisdom of my father, their presence provided a glimmer of light in the darkest of times. But even amidst the chaos and turmoil, there were moments of unexpected clarity, moments that forced me to confront the harsh truths that lay dormant within my heart. The discovery of my husband's infidelity, coupled with the revelation of my best friend's betrayal, served as a sobering reminder of the fragility of trust and the depths of human depravity. In the aftermath of this revelation, I found myself at a crossroads, a pivotal moment that would determine the course of my future. With a newfound resolve burning within me, I made the difficult decision to reclaim my autonomy, to seize control of my destiny, and to emerge from the ashes of my shattered dreams stronger, wiser, and more resilient than ever before. As I stand on the precipice of a new beginning, I am reminded of the words of an ancient proverb: out of adversity comes strength, out of struggle comes resilience. And though the road ahead may be fraught with uncertainty and challenges, I take solace in the knowledge that I am not alone, that with the unwavering support of my loved ones, I will weather the storm and emerge triumphant, ready to embrace the boundless possibilities that await me on the horizon. The meeting between Kylie and my mother unfolded like a scene from a surreal drama, each revelation more shocking than the last. As Kylie pleaded for forgiveness, my mother grappled with disbelief, struggling to reconcile the image of the woman before her with the betrayal she had orchestrated. However, as Kylie unveiled her pregnancy and her dependence on Dev for support, a wave of empathy swept over my mother, clouding her judgment with misplaced compassion. In a misguided attempt to salvage what remained of my fractured marriage, my mother extended an olive branch of financial assistance to Kylie, urging her to reconsider her decision to sever ties with Dev. She painted a picture of a makeshift family unit where Dev could play the role of provider to both sets of children, conveniently sidelining my maternal capabilities due to my battle with PPD. It was a cruel twist of fate, as my mother, blinded by her own biases, deemed Dev to be the healthier parental figure, discounting my struggles as mere symptoms of mental illness. In a bid to sway Kylie's decision, my mother resorted to manipulation, citing the hefty burden of child support that would fall upon my shoulders should I retain custody of James and Nina. It was a calculated move, designed to prey upon Kylie's vulnerabilities and secure her compliance in a scheme that would see her raising my children in my stead. The revelation of my mother's betrayal cut me to the core, a painful reminder of the fractured relationships that had come to define my life. The realization that even my own mother saw me as unfit to raise my children stung with a bitterness that lingered long after she had left the house, her tearful departure marking the end of an era fraught with deception and heartache. Now, 6 months on from that fateful encounter, I find myself grappling with the aftermath of yet another betrayal, seeking solace in the unwavering support of the online community that has become my lifeline. Their words of encouragement serve as a beacon of hope amidst the darkness, offering a glimmer of light in the midst of despair. As I navigate the turbulent waters of betrayal and uncertainty, I am reminded of the resilience that resides within me, a strength born from adversity and forged in the fires of adversity. With each passing day, I am learning to trust in my own judgment, to lean on those who offer genuine support, and to forge ahead with unwavering resolve, determined to reclaim my voice and my agency in a world that seeks to silence me. When life seemed unbearable, it was the unwavering support of my online community that kept me afloat, breathing life into my weary soul and reigniting the flames of resilience within me. And so, with their encouragement echoing in my ears, I took the first step towards reclaiming my autonomy and forging a new path forward. The divorce proceedings, a long-awaited milestone, marked the beginning of a new chapter in my life. Guided by my father's unwavering resolve, we navigated the legal labyrinth with steely determination, emerging victorious in our pursuit of justice. The prenuptial agreement served as a shield, deflecting James' attempts to lay claim to what was rightfully mine. And when it came to the custody battle, my lawyer's impassioned defense exposed James' shortcomings as a father, securing full custody of our children in my favor. The sight of his crestfallen expression mirrored the satisfaction that surged within me, a tangible reminder of my newfound freedom. As for my mother, her pleas for forgiveness fell on deaf ears, her remorse overshadowed by the magnitude of her betrayal. My father, steadfast in his convictions, refused to let her transgressions go unpunished, insisting on therapy as a means of addressing her internalized misogyny. Though their separation pains me deeply, I understand the necessity of my father's ultimatum, hopeful that therapy will pave the way for reconciliation and healing. Meanwhile, Kylie's mother remained true to her word, severing all ties with her daughter and bestowing upon me a gesture of solidarity that spoke volumes. Removed from her will and cast aside by those she once held dear, Kylie's fall from grace served as a poignant reminder of the consequences of betrayal. As for Dev, his refusal to acknowledge his responsibilities only served to deepen the chasm between us, leaving Mallerie to bear the brunt of his recklessness. And yet, despite the chaos that surrounds me, I find solace in the newfound sense of purpose that accompanies my newfound freedom. Focused solely on the well-being of my children, I refuse to be shackled by the ghosts of my past, embracing each day as an opportunity for growth and renewal. In hindsight, I'm grateful for the trials that led me to this moment, for without them, I wouldn't have discovered the strength that lies dormant within me. And so, as I embark on this journey of self-discovery, I do so with a heart full of gratitude and a steadfast belief in the guiding hand of destiny. For every setback has been a stepping stone towards a brighter future, a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. And with faith as my compass, I eagerly await the adventures that lie ahead, knowing that I am stronger, wiser, and more resilient than ever before. So stay tuned, dear friends, for the saga of our girl's journey is far from over, with each chapter revealing new depths of courage, resilience, and redemption.